Hey everyone, I'm Erik Huberman, founder and CEO of Hawke Media. Yeah, I mean, we always talk about servant leadership. I think a good leader is someone that elevates the people around them. I think that is the only way to lead. If you're, without being able to elevate the people around you, you're just a, solo operator. And there's people that are great at being a, one man band, so to speak. But I think if you're trying to be a leader, that means other people. I think elevating the people around you is the only way to do that at scale. So whether you're talking about political leaders, battlefield leaders, business leaders, they're people that have been able to either, both attract and recruit great people, but also elevate them and allow them to do what they do best. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to be super open and empathetic. I think that you have to find ways to be able to listen to the people around you, and I think it's delegation. It's letting people, giving people tasks and or parts of the business, whatever, letting them run with it, and then you know actually caring. So you check in to make sure that they're doing all the things they need to do, and they, in removing roadblocks for them. That's super important as well. The mindset that it took in terms of a leadership role was already there, where I've always had an easy time delegating and always had, like, I've never been a control freak. So like I that part was not that hard. I mean, I think that, my mindset from the beginning was the moment I'm doing something full time, I need to hire someone to take it over, or I shouldn't be working on that anyways. So like if I can't justify hiring someone, then I shouldn't be working on it either. There are certain aspects of the job only the CEO can do, but anything else needs to be given away. And then I need to enable those people to do that job better than I can do it. And so that's always been the mindset. At scale, it's just, those jobs are different than I'm delegating, meaning like instead of it being who's going to be running email marketing for my client, it's who's going to be managing our email marketers. Then it's who's going to be managing the people that manage our different teams. Then it's, it's just elevates the type of roles, but it's consistently the same kind of thought process of I'm doing too much of this now. Let's hire someone to do it. The biggest, I mean, it consistently, I'd say through COVID, we were losing a lot of money, but didn't want to lay anyone off. So, just paid out of pocket to keep our people employed. That's a big one. Consistent, I don't know that I sacrifice any more than our people do. You know what I mean? I think that it's a fallacy. The risk associated with leadership or entrepreneurship and the burden, I think is, people patting themselves on the back. It's another job. My job is to run the company in a way that, grows for everyone and is a great place for everyone to work at and does great service for our clients, et cetera. I don't know that I've sacrificed any more than other people need to. And at times my sacrifice has to be higher. At times I ask other people to make sacrifices. I don't take myself seriously. So like, I don't really get embarrassed. Um, I'd say the biggest fuck ups are when I usually I'm very, defensive of our people and our employees. And so when I see a client mistreating our people, I'm pretty defensive. I try to tone it down, but I've had enough clients that we've had to fire because of that. And every once in a while, my team will tell me they did everything. I'll go to the client and say, you can't treat my team this way. And someone will have screwed up on my team. And so I'll put my foot in my mouth a little bit and be like, they're like, what are you talking about? This is what actually happened. And so that very, 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 I think it's happened twice in the history of the company where my team, frankly, like either kind of misrepresented or lied to me about what they had done. So I went to the client being like, why are you pushing back on this? And then they showed me the evidence if I was wrong. I'd say that's the only time it's been embarrassing is when I'm with full conviction and trusting in people around me and then got foot and mouth a little bit. Other than that, there's not much. I'm sitting here talking to you with a mullet right now. That's how much I take myself seriously. I think the biggest dirty secret is that no one's that smart. No, success is a function of being smart enough, hardworking enough, and then just luck. And I think people hide that. Some people talk to it, but it's just, that's what I always try to explain to my people. We say this to everyone coming into the company. Like, I've stumbled into a 180 person company worth $100 million. Like, we fixed things over time. We worked really hard. We are decently smart. Like, yeah, sure. And we timed it really well because of the market, but like, we're lucky. We're more lucky than good in where we're standing. And so I encourage everyone, like, speak up when you see something wrong. Let's talk about problems. Let's talk about things you think we're operating wrong. Because not only could you be right, like, don't assume that just because we've done something for 7 years means we're doing the right thing, and things change. So we might think like we might be resting on our laurels and doing something that worked 5 years ago, and now things have changed. We're all working remotely. So we might have, and we've already thought through some of this, but I'm sure there's a process we have in place that made sense when we were all in an office, and now we're not. And so people are like, why the fuck are we still doing this? So those kind of things of like just trying to encourage my people to understand that like good ideas come from everywhere, including yourself. And so be open, like be aggressive, be confident, because and also be okay with being shut down. Like a lot of times you'll run with an idea you think is great and you'll find out that it wasn't, and that's okay. Move on. Don't take it personally and go to the next idea. That's a big part of it too. If it's a good idea, we're going to do it. If it's not, I'm going to tell them why I think it's not good and let's debate it. But if it's a good idea, I always have a next step. Like, okay, that's a great idea. I need you to put it on paper and send it to me so I can get this person to this. Like, it's action oriented. So what are we going to do? Having a list of ideas doesn't help me, because those ideas could change by the time I want to execute them. So if we're not going to execute it now, I'll give a reason. Like, hey, let's circle back on this in 3 months. I might tell my assistant to remind me, but it's something. There is a next step. Always a next step.